Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
Hey guys, what's up? Amir Reiter here. Another episode of the Transform Sales Podcast, our software seller demo review series. Mica, the CRO of Amplemarket. How are you today? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Amir. I'm looking forward
I've seen your company everywhere. How we got in touch was that I just heard people talking about you guys in communities. People are always, people are always talking about some of the newest tools. So I found you guys, reached out to one of your teammates, and now we're connected. And I'm going to start right off the bat. I mentioned the name of the software, but maybe you could introduce Amplemarket to us. And talk to us about what it can help, buyers do that they couldn't do before. Give us a quick introduction, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, Amplemarket right now is kind of like this consolidated sales and revenue platform powered by AI. So basically, think about everything that you need to build top of funnel pipeline, to drive engagement, to drive the right next steps to close your next customer. Basically, Amplemarket provides you a consolidated solution with data, engagement, intelligence, and delivery optimization as the four main pillars to help like SDRs, accounting executives, BDRs actually run their day-to-day operations. We believe that like so much of like sales today is so focused on the KPIs, the volume, quantity of outreach versus quality of outreach, and we want more of the quality forward. So basically, we want you to focus on signal-based sales instead of like spraying and praying all of it. So again, that's kind of like a description. This year, later this summer, we'll have like a few cool things coming out. But yeah.
You're going to share your screen, you're going to do demo, but for those listening, from my understanding, if I can just digest that, is that, explosion of sales tools, we're a market, we sell a lot of them. You put them all together, they all do all these different things. Amplemarket's kind of coming in and consolidating a lot of those so that users who want to drive revenue could use less tools and accomplish more in one platform. Is that a safe assumption of a safe summary?
Yes, it's a fake.
I haven't used it. I haven't used your software yet, so I don't know. And I typically do use software.
You should use it. But it's a good summary. Although that's the state of what Amplemarket is today. But what we do have coming is we want to build a first fully autonomous sales co-pilot, if that makes sense. We're currently building like the first AI assistant for SDRs, BDRs, and account executives. We've privately launched it, but we're going to be launching this later this summer.
Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna get to show that. Talk to me a little bit about your ideal customer, whether it's an industry, maybe it's SaaS, maybe it's service, maybe it's industrial, employee size, location. Not a trick question. You're a chief revenue officer. One of the things for chief revenue officer, you want to serve, you want to get to $1 billion in revenue, right? So you want to serve people. So this is not a trick question. And by anyone listening, we're not excluding you, but I want to get to the bottom of like, I got 10 different companies that I can choose. I'm going to choose one because they are the best. And it could be anything. And you could plead the fifth if you want, but I'd love to know.
I can answer. It's an easy one, although like convoluted somehow. We do have three types of segments for customers, right? So like, you can call them scaled, like core accounts or key accounts. But the thing that they have in common is kind of like they're usually B2B companies. So we serve B2B companies, not so much B2C companies. And they have a go-to-market team. So they have someone running sales, right? So it can be a team from like five SDRs, five AEs, all the hundreds of SDRs actually running. So yeah, typically B2B. When we're talking B2B, we're also talking about software as a service, right? So SaaS, as you mentioned, as being like our sweet spot, although it doesn't have to be B2B. And then the users are AEs and SDRs. We mostly sell to like leadership, be it like a revenue operations leader, a sales leader, a revenue leader, etc. Does that make sense?
You see what you did? You said it doesn't have to be to B2B because you're a CRO and you want to include everybody. But remember, you're not excluding. So SaaS company, B2B, they have a GTM plan. Yeah. Would it also be additionally, would it be somebody who's maybe frustrated with an incumbent? Is there like also, hey, they've been using these tools and they're just frustrated with them, or that's okay? Do you typically find Amplemarket to be a replacement of a tech stack or an add-on?
That's a very good question. So I just mentioned 4 pillars for Amplemarket, and we can unbundle our platform. So you can buy one of our products, or you can buy the full gamut, the full platform. If you're buying the full platform, we'll typically displace like a Zoom for an Apollo or Cognizant on the data side, and we'll displace like an Outreach or a Salesforce on the engagement side. We'll complement all of these with deliverability optimization and more intelligence. Just when it comes to AI is doing research for you, your accounts, your individuals, AI helping you understand what you should be doing with a specific individual or with a specific account, right? So we can complement, and typically we complement for bigger accounts. If you think about it, like for like bigger companies that have like a lot of things in place, we'll complement, but slowly but surely displace. For companies that have like sales teams around like, I would say like 10 SDRs and AEs, we can actually come in and then fully displace their usually they're using like 7 different tools, one for data or 2 for data, one for engagement, one for LinkedIn automation, one for email validation. They're using a bunch of different things, and we can actually come in and displace their stack. But at the same time, you're not just displacing them one for one, you're actually displacing and augmenting their stack, right? Does that make sense? You're muted. You're muted.
Faster, cheaper, more efficient. Innovation. It's always faster, cheaper, more efficient, right? So, I heard some buzzwords, right, that I know, right? Because typically, like as things got more complex, companies would, buy a data from ZoomInfo, put it in an outreach, then have to clean it, right? So you're kind of saying, hey, all these things that if this, then that take time, we're putting it in we're putting it in the platform, but then we're also adding AI to help people with triggers and stuff like that. You're going to show it. I don't want to do your demo, right? Talk to me about how a user would measure success with your platform. It could be as simple as making money and revenue. It might be complicated. I'm open to anything. How would a user typically measure success with Amplemarket?
Yes. Ultimately, like if you're a revenue or a growth platform, you really want to be measured by the outcomes, right? So like by the amount of growth or revenue that you're able to provide that company. There's a bunch of things when it comes to actually closing the contract that we don't control. But so I would say like it depends on what you buy it for. If you buy it for the full gamut of the platform, really Amplemarket should increase the conversion rates from just cold lead to opportunity within your funnel. So if you're getting, I don't know, if you're getting like a 10% conversion rate with Amplemarket, that number should go up. The efficiency of your team should go up. Right? So it's very easy to prove that like if we're spending like, I don't know, 3 hours a day personalizing, I can bring that number down to just 3 minutes. And so really, again, if you're buying, as I said, like you can unbundle the platform or you can bundle the platform. But really, you should be measuring like top of funnel, opportunity generation. Like if you're buying for the data only, like you can actually measure it like on the number of bounce rates, the number of mobile phone numbers that I can actually give you that you can actually reach out to that are actually valid. There's on the engagement side, you can actually measure the open rates and reply rates and interested rates that you have like by using our platform, because our platform is truly multi-channel, help you automate all of these like LinkedIn steps as part of like just a multi-channel sequence. But typically, like ultimately, to your point, like if you're selling to VPs of sales and CROs and RevOps leaders, they're looking for one, efficiency gains, productivity gains for their sales team, right? So doing more with less, and they're looking to grow faster. So to increase their, the throughput of their teams, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. I would add, by the way, if you don't mind going on mute for a second, we gotta get you a headset. I'm going to send you a headset. All right. It's going to say Amplemarket on it. So what I'm really hearing is if you really look at what's happening in the industry, right? A lot of people have purchased sales technology stacks, right? And their conversion rates are going down. Their top of the funnel metrics are their bounce rates are going up. Their reply rates are going down. So how users really should measure success with Amplemarket, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that they should see you as a counter offensive, a hedge against dropping sales metrics. So while top of the funnel sales metrics are going down, you're targeting that problem. So a user of your product should ultimately say, not only are we getting revenue, but all these top of the funnel metrics that were declining from 2022 to 2024 are now ticking up in the right direction, because if they keep declining, right, something's got to give. So that is that a decent summary of? And by the way, I hate putting words in your mouth. I'm always listening and analyzing. So I hope you don't.
No, it's a good summary, Amir. I think we stand for signal based outbound. We stand for less quantity, more quality. If you think about sales, like over the past like 5-10 years, we've all defaulted to measuring activity. You're just measuring the number of net new leads that an SDR or an AE is actually reaching out to. You're measuring the number of cold calls, the number of emails, the number of LinkedIn connection requests. So much about sales is just about the quantity of things that you do. And you're just always trying to drive the opportunity, never thinking really about the buyer and the fact that like if you're given a TAM, like only 1/4 of your TAM is actually going to buy every quarter if they're all uniformly distributed. So it means that you're actually spamming 3/4 of your TAM if you're not really smart about like identifying signals, right? That tell you that this account right now is the good time to reach out to them. And that's one of the things that we see a lot, even like with the massive big companies that have hundreds of reps. It's kind of really, they're given, SDRs are given a set of accounts. And one of the biggest problems is kind of like, how do I know that this account specifically is going to be buying from us this quarter? What are the signals I can actually capture? And think about the world. The world is becoming so much more noisy, right? So much information, so many emails, so many cold calls, like all these things happening, make it really hard for you to stand up. So you need to
Some say that 3% of your TAM is in a buying window at any given moment. So you're really helping identify that, which all makes sense.
Yeah.
By the way, eventually you're gonna get my hands on Amplemarket and I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna record some content and we're doing a big event for cybersecurity companies that are looking to hire lead gen companies. So all the lead gen companies do cybersecurity, and maybe I'll twist your arm for Amplemarket and get on the phone and start cold calling myself so people can show up. That's a whole different story. How do you feel about sharing your screen and giving us just a quick high level demo? Anybody listening to this is the first episode. This is the initial, the initial podcast, but we're going to get granular after this. We're going to focus on how Amplemarket helps specific industries. We're going to get down, but right now, general, because I know this is a big platform, so I don't want you to do the crazy full demo, but maybe like the high level elevator pitch. If you could share your screen, that would be awesome.
Okay, I'll do that. Bang. Can you see my screen?
Not only can I see your screen, everybody can see your.
Lovely. Again, Amplemarket is kind of a big platform, right? So like a consolidated platform powered by AI. So I won't be able to show you everything, but just I wanted to give you like the quick overview of like the four main pillars: data, lead generation, like one pillar; multi-channel engagement, right? So like once you find the data, how to engage in a multi-channel hyper-personalized manner; deliverability optimization built in, tracking the health of your domains, spam checking all of your emails, just making sure that whenever you're reaching out to someone, you really are able to start that conversation. And then intelligence, like everybody talks about intelligence and AI, etc. We do have like a lot of like really interesting AI products running in production for our customers today, and I can actually show you a few examples. But maybe to provide you a quick overview, I can actually go into the platform and kind of just create a few use cases on how like give you a walkthrough on how an SDR or an AE would actually.
Let's do a use case for a B2B SaaS company with 5 SDRs that has a GTM plan.
Perfect. Let's go. I'll just be one of my reps. And so like here, take a look. Like now I'm inside Amplemarket, and I'm going to start here, and then I'll give you a few things later on that are very, very interesting. But we have all of these sections that you can actually use with Amplemarket, again, tying to all of the pillars that I was just mentioning. So let's think about data first, because it's with the data that everything starts. So if you think about data, there are 3 dimensions to data: freshness, accuracy, and depth, right? So freshness and accuracy, like you're very used to, like, when I tell you that someone is a CEO at CloudTask, are they really the CEO at CloudTask? And when I give you the email of that CEO, is that really the email of that CEO, and is it not going to bounce? So that's accuracy and freshness. And then depth is kind of like very interesting. How deep can you go when you're trying to infer whether the CEO of CloudTask is actually in the market to buy something like Amplemarket, right? So like, what types of signals can you actually capture to tell you that CloudTask is a good account that you should prioritize today? So I'll give you a few things here, and then we'll play around with this together. So let's take a look. Like I want to really focus on revenue leaders and sales leaders, for example. I want to focus on VPs, heads of directors. So this is a simple one. Again, you can apply people filters, company filters. Again, revenue, technographic data, website traffic, etc. But I want to go here for a second, and I want to say, look, give me signals, buying intent signals for the fact that some of these leaders that I want to target show me that some of them are actually evaluating some of my competitors. So here, what I'm showing you is that for the last month, Amplemarket is giving me like VP of global sales, VP of sales, VP of commercial sales. All of these people here were seen engaging with at least one of my competitors, engaging with ZoomInfo, engaging with Cognizant, engaging with ZoomInfo. So there's buying intent here at all of these accounts, right? So, and as you can see here, this signal was detected today, right? Today is the 10th of July. And so Amplemarket told me like, hey, Brett here was seen engaging with ZoomInfo. So we believe that he's likely in the market to buy ZoomInfo. Not only that, but take a look at one thing. Right? So I'm telling you that Brett is the VP of Global Sales at Red 5. And take a look. He just started, like at most, like he updated like his profile like 10 days ago.
The double signal. Yeah, new job.
I love it. Double signal.
Yeah, I'm sure you would find a new job signal as well, but it's a double signal, higher score.
Yeah. So for example, recent changed roles, and you say, show me not only the ones that are engaging with my competitors, but show me the ones that have started their roles, their leadership roles, like less than 3 months ago. Why is that interesting? Gartner published this study like a few months ago where they say that if you take a look at leadership roles, they're hired for two different reasons. One, scale things or change things. So what happens? Like they're very open to starting conversations with new vendors and to reconsider the vendors that they have internally. So if this account is not one of my accounts, and if the leadership changed, and if they're seen engaging with one of my competitors on the data space, then it's a perfect timing for me to actually reach out and say, hey, Brad, like, you know, if you're like most sales leaders out there, you're potentially currently evaluating tools to help your team become more efficient. Would love to actually connect with you and see how you're thinking about sales and etc. But that's like two signals. We can take it a notch further, and we can say like, show me the headcount growth, right? Show me how much a company is actually growing their sales team. So now you have three signals. Brett was hired right now. He was seen engaging with ZoomInfo, and he has like 10 open roles for AEs. Do you know what Brett is thinking about when he's going to bed? Pipeline generation. It's like, oh my God, like 10 AEs, how do I generate for pipeline for all of those people? That's basically my talk track when I reach out to Brett. Does that make sense?
That's what you think about all the time too, right?
Yeah. It's always pipeline or conversion. Like there's a, as you know. Let me digress like real quick here on LinkedIn for a second.
Can I add one thing before you keep going? Because and I could be wrong, right? I make assumptions. I'm not afraid to be wrong. I kind of feel like we're good friends to Paulo. We helped them build a Latin American team through the marketplace. We were partners with them. Looks like they went more after ZoomInfo, and they wanted to really more go towards that IPO and just kind of like data. And it seems like you guys went more towards the direction of not chasing data in the company, but actually becoming more of an actionable platform to get revenue. Is that a crazy statement?
No, it's a perfect statement. Actually, that's a very good observation and a perfect statement. Look, 80% of Amplemarket's customers will eventually use 3 or more of our products. And it usually includes data and engagement. Typically, if I see someone using ZoomInfo, they're using ZoomInfo for the data. They're not really using ZoomInfo for the ZoomInfo engage part. They're actually combining ZoomInfo with outreach. And for Apollo, very similar. They're combining Apollo with outreach or sales law.
Yeah, I just feel like Apollo went from like trying to do the complete thing to more towards the data, and then you guys are coming in and being like, all right, we're gonna consolidate, what that direction was in the beginning. That's how I feel, because things change fast, right? LinkedIn automation, SMS, WhatsApp, you might have those things, probably do, right? Website intent. But I didn't want to throw you off. I just wanted anybody listening to kind of think that way, because companies change as they get older, right? And I feel like what they were is not what they are now, and this is a big gap that you're filling in and going downwards for the user, which is great, because we don't win when they beat ZoomInfo, right? We win. So thank you for filling the gap. Keep going.
And to that point, I think there's a lack of imagination. If you're just an alternative to ZoomInfo, you should be much bigger. Like I think and we can digress here, but like if you think about sales every 10 years, there's a big shift in terms of how companies do sales. If you go back, like sales was not social at all, like 10 years ago. And all of a sudden, like now every single, I would say like 90% of opportunities closed by most companies have a social step in them. If you go back another 10 years, like, you're writing all of your emails by hand, and now like all of a sudden Tout app, yes, where outreach come out and you can actually do one-to-many, so you can actually blast people, and that works until it doesn't anymore. If you go back another 10 years, like sales is field sales. So you're pre-internet, you're just like going door to door, knocking on doors and like doing sales that way. And so now sales is going Sorry?
I've done that. I've knocked on doors.
So you know that well, right? And so now you're at the verge of like something fairly interesting and novel that is going to change not only the way people do sales, but like the way we do many things, which is kind of like with the avenue of AI. And I think there, like, you need to be more imaginative. You need to be more creative. You need to think more deeply about the nature of sales and what is broken with sales today. And I believe that sales today is so freaking noisy. You have like cheap leads, cheap engagement tools, and you're just blasting, right? You have a TAM. You're just like, how can I send like 1 million emails per month? That's basically what I care about. Like, you're just because like as managers and VPs, we only capture in the CRM the activity that they're doing. How many people did you cold call today? How many people did you email today? And that's, if you take a look at the best teams, activity is correlated with success up to a certain extent. At some point, it breaks. The most successful reps are not the ones that are doing the most activities, actually. So you're failing to capture something that is magical. And the magical steps that you're failing to capture is the research that they're doing and the context building. And you know what? LLMs are really good at 3 things: research, recall, and context. LLMs, basically, they power GPTs, right? They power these AI models that everybody's talking about today. And let me just show you an example for this. Like, Brett here, like if I'm using Amplemarket, again, I have like my Amplemarket extension over here on the right. I could actually open it up and get more context about this individual. But more interestingly, like, take a look at this one. I click this button, and that's an AI product by Amplemarket. And the cool thing that it's doing is actually doing a lot of research, right? It's trying to infer what happened with Brett recently. And take a look. Amplemarket, hey, Brett, kudos on becoming the new VP of sales. So Amplemarket fetched that one important signal within this person's recent activity was the fact that they just started a new role. Let's say that you're not happy with that. Like, you just click it again, and then again, more research, trying to infer more signals.
I understand it. I think a lot of our viewers do too, because it's like everyone talks about personalization, but then you slow down the volume. You know what I mean? So it's like it's almost a way of kind of taking what's working and accelerating it without losing quality, perhaps gaining quality, because even when an SDR is personalizing and when they're reading it, they're oftentimes thrown off by too much information, and they forget to understand that you should write in a 3rd grade level, right? Like, I forget about that too. So it's almost, to me, it seems like a shortcut for personalization because it's a double, if your reps are doing personalization, but they're spending a lot of time on it and writing too much, not getting results, that's a problem too. So it's almost like keeps them from getting into that. Oh, I spent the whole day on 5 emails, right? And now you can maybe get 60 that are personalized. But so that's how I see it, right? Because I always notice that like there's always a give and get, right? So it's like the problem with personalization was the time, and then oftentimes hard to see the signal. So you're kind of fixing that problem, giving people a way of now taking personalization at scale. It might not be a huge scale, but that we talked about that. It's not about huge scale. It's about a higher efficiency, right? It's like yeah. So it makes sense.
If I could get you to only contact the 20 people that are going to generate opportunities this week, I would actually, that's my obsession. Why would you even be contacting the people that are not interested in talking with you? Like, you're just creating noise. Don't try to drive the opportunity there. Try to drive the nurturing, right? So try to nurture them in a certain way, like their posts, start following them, etc. Show them that you exist, but don't drive the close. Don't drive the opportunity per se. If I could actually just have you focus on the 20 leads that are going to be 100% conversion this week, I'd love to actually do that. And that's basically my obsession, right? And so take a look at this here. Like, for Brett here, I have like 5 different reasons on why I should be reaching out to him. And again, I've done these talking with you. There's like Amplemarket picked up that Brett here replied to this post that was posted 4 hours ago. He replied to this post and about this company. And Amplemarket picked that up and is actually leveraging that post as a reason to reach out to Brett. And so like a rep would never do this type of research, or only a little number of reps would do this type of research. And within this amount of time, within 2 minutes, really like
hard to do it right and consistently.
Yeah,
that's I would say. Yeah.
So let me take this a notch further. Like I just want to show you a few other things that you can actually do on LinkedIn, and then I'll go back to Amplemarket. Like Amplemarket really, again, talking about signal-based sales and signals, and the fact that like sales is so social today. They happen in front of your eyes every single day, right? So let me take a look here. For example, here, Jordan, personalization is the worst idea B2B has ever had. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. Let's say that he's talking about personalization and that we really care about that. Let me just close these. Imagine having this little button here, export leads. So now with Amplemarket, every single source of content on LinkedIn becomes a source of leads. So I can actually leverage that post by Jordan here, where he's talking about personalization, and I can actually filter this by revenue, sales titles, and then I can just say, hey, bring those into Amplemarket. Click this button, bang. Amplemarket is bringing all of these people into Amplemarket. So I have 18 people here. Again, take a look. Verified emails, phone numbers already here for me. And I can just say, select all of these people and now engage with them with a personalized sequence where I mentioned the post. I mentioned that they were seen engaging with this post here because I have access to that. I even know their interaction type, whether they found it funny, whether they loved it, whether they liked it, or whether they commented on it. The point is everything becomes a source of lead. So you mentioned Apollo before. Imagine just being able to leverage my competitor's marketing budget and starting with things like this. Oh, I can actually prospect all of these people from the Apollo posts that are engaging with them. Does that make sense?
It's honestly taking all of the things that work and making it cheaper, faster, and more efficient.
Efficiency, right? So I mentioned efficiency, productivity, right? With one rep being able to do more.
David Ventura, one of our demand gen guys, is going to love this. He's obsessed with signal selling on LinkedIn. Obsessed. It's a passion of his.
I love it. So let's take a look. So let's again, but imagine being able to do this for things happening on SalesNav.
I daydream about this. I don't even imagine. I'm obsessed with B2B sales. I wake up at 3 a.m, the cold sweat, wanting how I could do this at higher scale. So I definitely can imagine.
I'll show you some cooler things in a second. So let's take a look at this. Like, let's go back. And again, I'm just showing you a few things, but let's go into the sequencing portion of things, right? Let's go into I've sourced these leads, and now basically I'm very interested in engaging with them. So I don't know, like LinkedIn post about personalization. I'll just give it a name. And let's create one from scratch. And basically here, what I want to do is I want to show you a few interesting things. So you have all of these fields here that are available to you, and let's build a sequence together. So as you're thinking about building a sequence with Amplemarket, you can actually build like a sequence that has like email steps, LinkedIn steps, calling steps, right? All of these built in. And take a look. Some of these are pretty cool. Like I have like an AI email. I can actually have this email be completely written by an AI, not the sequence. Not the same email for all of these like 18 people that I have here. No. Every single person receives a completely bespoke, unique email, taking into account that signal that we fetched from that post, but also their like things that are specific to them. Does that make sense?
And for anybody listening, that's also that's a best practice for increasing your sender score. Systems look for repetitiveness, right? Yeah. So by making every email a little bit different, you're also kind of improving your sender score, which is a big deal. Keep going.
Okay. So
you knew that, right?
This sequence, what I'm showing is like you can layer in like email and LinkedIn tasks seamlessly. And by the way, the LinkedIn tasks, they can be fully automated. So I can actually like posts completely automatically. So I can actually start my sequence by basically liking your last post. So you see my face, like the average post on LinkedIn gets less than 30 likes. So the probability of me liking one of your posts and you being familiar with my face, even before I actually take a signal that happened on LinkedIn and reach out to you via email, is humongous, right? So I like your post, I send you an email, I send you a connection request, and all of these LinkedIn steps, they're fully automated. You don't need to click buttons. You don't need to do anything. They're fully automated for you. And then, we're taking this a notch further. I can send you, let me just go here. I can show you something. Imagine having these capabilities. Again, leveraging this channel, that is the LinkedIn channel, but being able to do things like this. Amir, like sending you a quick video message here. So I can actually drop video messages. So it's within the social channel, it's a new medium. But I can also do recordings. I can actually, hey, Amir, here's a voice recording. Now, think about AI and think about me replicating your voice and you being able to drop like these AI voice recordings, bespokely written by an AI and with your voice,
You're trying to keep me awake tonight, huh?
But imagine this. But
I don't want to imagine it. I'm going to stay up. I got to wake up at 3 a.m. and target Japan. That's what I got to do with Amplemarket. I can imagine. Listen, I understand now why people are always asking questions about Amplemarket and talking about it. It's because, like you said, you're taking what's working and then making it faster, cheaper, more efficient. And these are all like the top-notch ways of being efficient, and it makes a lot of sense to me. I hope anybody listening, you obviously got questions, you can talk to us and ask us, but it looks to me it looks like a B2B revenue leader's dream come true in a platform.
Can I show you something else? Like something last thing, and I won't show you anything.
No, it's not going to be the last time we talk. We're going to get deep. We're gonna help that 80/20 find you.
I love it, but I will show you the last thing. I only showed you like 30% of the platform, but take a look at this. Imagine being able to have something like this where you tell Amplemarket, here's my list of accounts, my 500 accounts for the quarter. Help me prioritize them. Give me signals for things that are happening with these accounts and tell me how I should approach them. So here, these leads come to me every single day. Every single morning I wake up, I'm doing my coffee, and I can go through my list of leads here, my list of accounts. So for example, this person here, Liz Wood, VP of Demand and Media Ops at this company, he was seen engaging with a post that is relevant to us. Amplemarket is telling me, like, she engaged with this post by Dave Gerhardt. So I can actually query the post. And then Amplemarket infer that post is interesting for me. And take a look at what Amplemarket did. Built a sequence for me. LinkedIn profile.
I can't read it, but I can see it.
But it's fully, like, the point is kind of like this sequence is unique and fully built for this person, where every single step is kind of like bespoke and unique, and it mentions the top of funnel signal. But imagine, like, if I go here, so into the Juniper networks, here, different signal, they will see engage with another person. Take a look at this one here, engaging with Seamless.ai, like competitor. Or this one, past customer.
It shows it shows the work. It shows the effort, right? It's targeting people that might be in it, and it also shows the effort that people want to see, right? Like they want to see a little bit of effort, and this is a lot of bit of effort.
But take a look at the amount of signals, right? So here, this person was so they were a user at Rippling, and now they changed to a new company. So I'm actually, hey, like at this new company, you're my account, you're not a customer. Would it make sense? Take a look at this one. They started following my company on LinkedIn. Matt here started following the company. Like it's a signal that is coming to me. This person here was seeing engaging with a post by the CEO of ZoomInfo. This person here changed jobs recently. Right, so you have all of these beautiful signals. All of these signals are kind of like bespoke that you're kind of like blind to today, but they will come to you automatically. And you can say, "Look, I love this signal. I want."
Well, not automatically. You got to buy Amplemarket. So, start off with free trials. You guys have a free trial? Get started with a trial, and then buy it.
Think about like Tinder for sales. Like you're just swiping right or left here, and you're saying like, "This is."
That's all I think about. All I think about is Tinder for sales.
But yeah, this gives you kind of like an overview on how we're thinking about like signals, how we think about data, how we think about engagement, and there's a lot more things like happening. So to build this one thing, there's like many AI agents that are working in the background for you, but our goal is to really abstract as much from you as possible. As an SDR or an AE,
I got an idea.
You're super young, you know nothing about LLMs, you don't really know how to prompt things, and the thing is, like, we've done enough interviews to know exactly what the best reps are doing, so that we can actually give you the Iron Man suit. We can actually level you up straight from day one by telling you, hey, focus on this. Here's how you should be doing it. And there's like you can actually tweak it. There's like certain things that you can do, but overall, we want to make you more productive and more successful.
I like it. I got a request. I'm running a campaign designed to help sales agencies that specialize in helping cybersecurity companies generate revenue and helping cybersecurity revenue leaders find those agencies and those softwares. I'm going to twist your arm, get some access to Amplemarket, and I'm going to use it in real time and record it while I'm helping those cybersecurity leaders meet the right people and join our event. And I'm going to create document the whole process so that I can, it's like using a car to win a race, right?
I can hook you up with these. Like, imagine you don't have to do the search. Just tell me what you care about. And
cybersecurity companies.
But that's
that hiring salespeople.
That's better, right? So, but we can do better. I
IPO, that are publicly traded.
Yeah, so better. Like, but the deeper we go, the more you start understanding that, like, you know, you're very broad, like you're creating a lot of noise versus like now you're becoming way more narrow. So like now we know cybersecurity, hiring for sales, pre-IPO or IPO, right?
Looking at some lead gen companies.
But
right? Want to find the right match for the
But the thing is, like, what are the proxies that you can use to actually get closer to that? And that's what I'm telling you is kind of like, I can hook you up with a thing that gives you a bunch of signals every single day, where your job is to say, this looks good, this doesn't look good, I want to send this, or I want more of this. Oh, here's a new signal that I actually would love to leverage. How can I do it?
Yeah, it's a new way of selling. It's what we talk about, but it's enabling SDRs to do single-based selling. And sometimes SDRs are entry level, they're new, right? So it's like it's a hard skill, right? They got a cold call, they got to do all these things, and it's accelerating their learning, right? Because why learn all these things if you can already have help and then learn the details above that, right? Which makes sense.
Think about SDRs. They're so not set up for success. They're young people, first job. They need to learn sales. They need to learn the company and the product that they're selling, and they need to learn like the seven.
And they need to learn the prospects. Yeah, thought.
And then they have quotas, and they get fired like if they don't hit their quotas. So what does the market default to?
Okay, volume and no quality.
Activity doesn't value like signal. Activity doesn't value quantity. Quality just values quantity.
I know, and it doesn't efficiently generate ROI. Efficiently, because it'll generate revenue.
And that's what you're saying, like results are going down.
100%. I like it. Anybody who's listening to this is not going to be the first time that we speak with Mica and his team. We're going to create a lot of hyper-focused content, things that are, how cybersecurity companies use Amplemarket, how real estate companies do. We're going to get really specific over the time with you guys. But for now, anybody who's interested in learning more, obviously we're partners with them. They're in our marketplace. The link's below in the comments. Feel free to sign up. I think do you guys offer a free trial? Maybe, I don't know. It should be in the question. Do you guys offer a free trial?
We can make that work.
They can make it work, guys. Anybody who wants to follow you, connect with you, learn more about the where sales is going and about efficiency, where can they find you and where should they connect with you?
Yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is like Micael Oliveira. And then email mica@amplemarket.com, mica@amplemarket.com. Super easy.
Mica, you're awesome. And now I get it, why there's been so much buzz around your product. I look forward to learning more. Everybody who's been tuning in, thank you for watching this week's episode of the Transform Sales Podcast, our software seller review series. We got Mica, CRO of Amplemarket, link below. You can make a trial work if you guys are, in his 80/20. Thank you, man, for making this happen. And I look forward to having you on next time.
No, thank you for having me. It was fun.
Our pleasure.